Hey Craftsman crew and other viewers, this one's going to be another yarn. I think it's volume 9 of yarns by the Craftsman. This one goes back to when I used to work at a fish plant down in Sandy Point, and we had two forklift drivers. One was older and more experienced on the forklift, but he had less education, and the younger one had more education, but he didn't have the skills that the older, more experienced forklift driver had. So at our plant there, if there wasn't enough work for both forklift drivers, then the one would have to come in on the production line and help out wherever they could. So in the first go off, the older, more experienced driver, of course, stayed on the forklift, and the younger driver, he used to go in and help out wherever he was needed. So anyway, that went on like that for a while, but then as the younger forklift driver began to gain more experience, and his expertise level on the controls of the forklift came up to kind of rival the older forklift drivers, and they started depending on him much more, where he had the education as well. So anyway, the older forklift driver at that point had to start going in and helping out where he was needed on the line when they only had enough work for the one. So anyway, he was discouraged by this, and I guess he must have been looking for his chance to get back at the guy. So anyway, even though it wasn't his fault, but so anyway, the mother company had released this new objective where the forklift driver had to do a daily safety check on their machine, and when trucks came in and out that had to be loaded and unloaded, then they had to start taking care of the paperwork for that, so the secretary in the office wouldn't have to come down and do it. So of course, for the younger, more educated forklift driver, this wasn't going to be a problem. But for the more experienced forklift driver that didn't have as much book education, the paperwork was going to be daunting for him. So anyways, they worked together at first, and the older, more experienced forklift driver gave tips to the younger one on like what to look for on the machine, and because he had more expertise in that way, and the younger one helped out the older one with the paperwork aspect of it. So they worked good as a cohesive unit there for a while. So but anyway, along came this day where we had two trucks come in at the same time, and everything was hectic, and of course they were leaning on the forklift driver with the more book learning there to keep track of everything on paper. So anyway, we had one truck in getting unloaded, and the other truck was sitting there waiting, and things, like I say, were starting to get real busy. So he had made a small clerical error there on one of the paperwork, and so anyway, at the end of the day, after everything was all said and done, the secretary called him up and had noticed the clerical error there, and between the two of them, they got it straightened up. There was no big deal. So anyway, we had like a family environment there. Everybody liked to raise one another, and it was all in good fun. We all teased one another and things. So anyway, the older forklift driver had got word that the younger driver had made this mistake on paper there. So anyway, he come up to him to aggravate him and said, "Oh, I heard you made a mistake today on the paperwork." He said, "You're some stupid." So anyway, the younger driver, he was a happy-go-lucky guy. Like, he never let anything too much bother him. So, and it was surprising with his reaction. I don't know if he was upset from just being overworked and stressed out, or whether he had like got embarrassed by making the mistake or whatever. But anyway, he kind of didn't like the older feller calling him stupid. So anyway, he looked right at the older feller. He said, "Me stupid?" He said, "You can't even spell stupid." He said, "S-T-U, now spell the freaking rest." But anyway, of course, he didn't say freaking, but I'll put it to you that way. But anyway, everybody got the big kick out of it, because like I say, the younger forklift driver is usually happy-go-lucky, and he got really mad. But anyway, after it all blowed over, like for a couple of years later, like we all, every once in a while, we'd holler out to him, like, and we do that with a lot of funny things that happen, like we bring it back up again. But anyway, it was, so we'd always say to the younger forklift driver, like, I got to be good friends with him there, and I'd always say, "S-T-U, now spell the friggin' rest." But it was, wow, it was, I might not have did it justice, but to witness that in real life, like it, in the context of what it was, it was one of the most hilarious things that I had ever seen in my real life, much like the dum-dum story that I told here a few back. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, because every time I think of it, like, I just chuckle to myself. So hopefully everybody else from now on can get a nice chuckle out of that yarn too. So anyway, at that, I'm going to say, Craftsman out. Have a nice day. Double H Craftsman here. If you like this video, please remember to like and share with all your family and friends. And if you'd like to become a member of the Craftsman crew, it's very simple. Just hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost a cent. Remember, if you can't laugh with me, laugh at me. But keep laughing. Craftsman out. Have a nice day.